The Me Too movement has led to women around the world coming forward with stories of harassment in the workplace. This issue is not confined to a single company or industry. It is an endemic problem which spreads far beyond the cases of sexual abuse that hit the headlines sporadically. A 2008 research study by Aware found that 54% of the respondents indicated that they had experienced workplace sexual harassment. Indeed, sexual harassment is a serious and prevalent problem in Singapore. But what exactly is sexual harassment? We pose this deceptively simple question to a couple of passers-by.
Touching body parts without permission.
It's like a boss threatened to fire his female subordinate when she chose not to sleep with him. When a man makes a lewd joke and makes suggestive gesture in a room full of people.
The correct answer? All of the above.
Sexual harassment in the workplace involves threatening or abusive words, behaviors, or communications of a sexual nature towards other employees or subordinates. Through this, a victim is reminded of her vulnerability, with the tension created inducing her fear in the workplace, making her job more difficult.
So, what are some of the causes of sexual harassment in the workplace? To take a more educated opinion on this matter, we have secured interviews with women who have had experiences working in an environment where they had to answer to a male superior. To safeguard their identities, we will not mention their name, nor mention of where they work.
I feel that power dynamic play a huge role when we talk about sexual harassment, as the male superior actually have the ability to control the stability of the female workers' work. So the women always find themselves in a very vulnerable and insecure positions when they are being harassed in the workplace.
Well, of course, according to a 2008 Aware report, a shocking 86 cases of sexual harassment involve women being harassed by their superior. May I know what is your take on this statistic?
It's very true that us women being at the mercy of the male superiors acts direct economic clout to the male sexual demands. It deprives women of the material security and independence, which could deter us from resisting the unreasonable type of job pressure and then sounding out for help.
Yes, another interconnected factor in why workplace harassment thrives is the fear in victims of reporting the incident.
Oh yes, a close friend of mine was recently really troubled because despite the fact that she faced harassment from her superior in the workplace, right, blowing the whistle could mean losing her job or even more. So in such a situation, not just the woman's financial circumstances are at stake, the dignity, the reputation, everything is at stake. That's why a lot of women, they choose to suffer in silence rather than to spill the ugly truth.
Indeed, this climate of fear has contributed to the perceived invincibility of male predators, thus exacerbating the issue.
Another reason for workplace harassment is the lack of company policy. For example, companies are encouraged to utilize the Tripartite Advisory on Managing Workplace Harassment, which deals with how employers and employees can prevent and respond to workplace harassment. This document stresses the importance of proactive management and preventative training. However, in October 2017, Minister for Manpower Lim Swee Say said that the advisory is not prescriptive and the ministry does not track the take-up rate.
Lastly, Singapore is an Asian conservative society deeply rooted in Confucian culture and its patriarchal system. This has perhaps led to some to condone sexual harassment, as you will hear from our second interviewee.
Yes, I feel that the conservative nature of Singaporeans lead many to shun those who are calling out for help. Even in my circle of friends of both male and female, some frown upon the woman trying to blow the whistle, viewing the act of bringing their stories of harassment into the public eye as airing dirty laundry instead of enacting positive social change. It is this reason that hinders the progress of this issue.
So who is affected by sexual harassment and how?
First, the victim's emotional well-being will be severely affected. Sexual harassment in the workplace can lead to the loss of self-esteem and can cause significant stress and anxiety. TV producer at Channel News Asia, Miss Park Ju-won, alleged that a MediaCorp cameraman had told her, "I cannot be a presenter because I have no boobs, and girls shouldn't be too smart for their own good, and I should act dumb." She wrote in a public Facebook post that it has been the most difficult week in her life after being sexually harassed. Second, a company's productivity will also decrease. Victims and witnesses of sexual harassments are more likely to quit, leading to high employee turnover and related hiring and training cost increases. A toxic environment will also make recruiting top talents more difficult. While there has been no study in Singapore of the financial costs of sexual harassment to businesses in Singapore, however, studies from the US indicate that the cost is substantial. A survey of US federal government employees estimated sexual harassment cost the US government $327 million between 1992 and 1994.
Given such detrimental impacts, what are some possible measures that affected women can take?
Women should most importantly voice out and making it clear that his or her behavior is unwelcome and unwanted. If the harassment does not cease after you have made a clear request for it to stop, ensure that you keep a written record of all incidents of harassment in detail, including words, gestures, actions, time and place, and witnesses if there are any. This helps in terms of remembering details for official investigation and reporting. Also, aligning oneself with prominent feminist movements, such as the Me Too movement, will be an effective deterrent to predators looking for easy prey that are too timid to speak up about issues.
Furthermore, what can we as a society do to combat sexual harassment in the workplace?
We as Singaporeans have a voice, and we should use it constructively. Civil society should actively pressure employers to have policies that explicitly prohibit sexual harassment in the workplace. This establishes a no-tolerance culture towards harassment, such that all employees are made aware not only about what constitutes sexual harassment, but also about possible disciplinary actions that may be taken against sexual predators.
In conclusion, sexual harassment in the workplace is a serious issue that cannot be overlooked. We hope such solutions can be adopted to ensure a brighter future.